What it is, Keep It G blog attacking back in. So we got this issue in my city, right? And I'm gonna say it's an issue because I don't want to call it a problem. But it's dealing with the Squeegee boys. And I know they got Squeegee boys all across America. I done seen videos of Squeegee kids in Atlanta. So I'm pretty sure it's a common thing, right? But this been going on in my city for about 10 years. But in the last, I'm gonna say 7 years. In the last 7 years, it's become a major problem. You know, as far as a lot of news coverage, a lot of people feel like the kids don't need to be outside on the streets. A lot of people support them. So just recently, yesterday, a man by the name of Timothy Reynolds was murdered by a Squeegee kid, right? And I got a feeling that it's going to blow up. Because what happened with his situation, and I'm gonna get to the video. And with this video, I'm gonna let you hear from Squeegee kids themselves. I'm gonna show you some incidents of things that happened with the Squeegee kids and people driving through the city. Because I want people to get a full aspect, a well-rounded, so they can make a well-rounded decision. You know, I just want people to get the full aspect of what's going on. But in Timothy Reynolds' case, I don't know what happened at the light. I'm assuming that it was some type of confrontation between him and the Squeegee kid. But to make a long story short, he pulls out a bat and swings it at the kids and ends up getting shot dead. So a lot of people feel one way about it. A lot of people feel another way about it. But I'm going to get into the video.
And I'm Kai Jackson. Our top story tonight, chaos at the Inner Harbor.
That's right. A Squeegee worker shoots and kills a man after police say the man who was shot swung a bat at a group of them this afternoon after a confrontation.
Can't even stand here and not feel like you might get shot by errant gunfire.
Keith Daniels has been on the scene of that shooting since news of the deadly incident broke this afternoon.
And he joins us now live with the very latest on what happened down there today. Keith?
You guys are at the balloon, or sorry, Mary, you're at the balloon.
A very complex situation where someone took matters into his own hands, the victim. And now tonight, the search for the shooter. I'll grab it all, too. At the corner of Light and Conway Streets, a confrontation between a driver and Squeegee workers turns deadly.
Multiple rounds that were fired.
A bloody bat on the block, part of the evidence. Some neighbors nearby, stunned by what happened, but not surprised.
Clearly, if what happened and there was someone who was frustrated and got out with their baseball bat, there are a lot of people who want to do that because they're frustrated.
Police say it happened in the light of day at about 4:30. Investigators say the driver, a 48-year-old man, was going through the intersection when there was a heated exchange with Squeegee workers. The driver parked his car, then
exited his vehicle with a baseball bat, walked back over to where the Squeegee workers were. The information that we have right now is that he swung the bat at one or more of those Squeegee workers. In return, one of the Squeegee workers pulled out a gun and fired, striking this male victim.
Police found the victim with several gunshot wounds. The Squeegee workers scattered, got away.
Our detectives are combing through this neighborhood looking for cameras and are going through some video now and are looking for more cameras with more video.
As police investigate,
yeah, I got it, bro.
Neighbors deliberate over what's been a continuous nuisance for some residents, now turned deadly.
I wish there was something they could do about the Squeegee boys. The ones right along here seem to be more aggressive than the ones we've seen in other parts of the city.
People are feeling like they need to come down here and they need to protect themselves when they're trying to come through a major metropolitan area. So it's scary and frustrating.
So this is what I'm going to say about that. It's sad and unfortunate. This man has lost his life behind something that it couldn't have been that major. You know, what can be said at a traffic light to a stranger that's more than likely a child? Now don't get me wrong, it's some Squeegee kids that's not really kids. They about 18, they on the borderline, 18, 19 years old. And they need to get a job. Like, you know what I mean? They don't need to be outside squeegeeing. But what can be said to make you so angry, so furious, to where as though you want to pull over your car and get out with a bat? Now we didn't hear anything like the kid hit the car or nothing like that. If that happened, it hasn't came out yet. But they're painting him out to be a victim in this case. So if let's say he hit the kid with the bat, right? Let's say the little kid didn't have the gun on him. What conversation would we be having then? Would he be justified because the squeegee kids get a bad rap? Or will he be treated the same way that they're treating this child? Whoever this child is. And that's what I really want to get into, and that's what I'm trying to get an understanding of, because it's like, I think they get a bad rap. I never had a problem with a squeegee kid ever in my life. Now, I've seen them act a certain type of way to certain people. But as far as me and everyone I know, we never had a problem with them. For the most part, they're overly respectful. Because at the end of the day, they understand what they're doing. They understand that it's an inconvenience. But at the same time, what else can you do? Now, this is not the only instance when the squeegee boys act out. Like I said, I want y'all to have a full spectrum of what's going on and what the city is calling a problem. Rotate.
Video appearing to show squeegee workers assaulting a driver. Filmed Thursday off Mount Royal Avenue, it appears to show a squeegee worker banging on the door. Then you can see him opening the car door, and after the driver shuts it, he opens it again, appearing to hit the person inside. The owner of this video handing it over to police, but police encourage them to share it publicly to help identify these suspects.
Yesterday around 1:15, 1:30 p.m., I was heading down Conway, and that's when I spotted the squeegee kids or squeegee men. I stopped my vehicle about 30 feet before I got to them. There were 3 of them. They proceeded, when the light changed green, to come towards my vehicle and block me so I couldn't go anywhere.
This driver, who asked us not to reveal his name, said at that moment, one of the squeegee workers ripped off his windshield wiper and tossed it.
So at this point, I've had enough. I get out of my vehicle, just like I did the time before, and I said, "What is your problem?" So I guess he thought that I was going to come towards him, and he reached down and picked the backpack up that was at his feet, took his left hand, placed it inside the backpack, and brandished a weapon, which to me looked like a gun. I got in my car at that point and left.
Would you think twice next time about ever getting out?
I would, but at the same time, when you get fed up enough, something, I don't want to say snaps, but something comes over you and you just can't take it anymore.
Dash cam video taken by a mom who had traveled to Baltimore with her 3 children to visit the Inner Harbor. But when she refused to produce money for the squeegee boys, the video shows they struck her car 3 separate times.
Right now, they've just hit my car. You know, if I had rolled down my window, what would have happened? If they'd broken my windshield, what would have happened? You know, if it escalates, you know, I don't have a lot of protection being, you know, a female out with 3 small children. I very much enjoyed going to the National Harbor with my kids, and I'm too afraid to go back.
A violent encounter between a driver and squeegee kid. The video posted online drawing thousands of views and hundreds of comments calling it crazy and sad.
It's disappointing.
No, I don't like that.
According to the police report, this all happened after the victim got out of his car to confront the squeegee kid for smacking his window after being asked not to wash the windshield.
Some of the kids are great, but unfortunately the few that are aggressive, you know, make it difficult.
And I'm gonna let you hear from the squeegee kids so you can get their perspective on what's going on.
Squeegee kids.
I think the squeegee boys are great, but I just do not like it when they're too aggressive.
They're a great part of the community.
Absolutely drive me crazy.
There's too many of them.
When it's like 9 to 10 kids, it could be intimidating.
I'm not even one to turn around and try and start trouble or anything, but They literally go out of their way to try and make sure, you know, whether you want it or not, that you have to give them money.
They doing a good thing. What you mean?
They ain't doing no good thing. They need to, but the mayor and them need to find a daggone program and put them back in school somewhere. I donate $1 a day and you can?
Please don't.
Huh?
It's not even like that.
Like people will pull up and be like before you even walk in the street to ask them, they'd be like, no, don't touch my window.
They be so ignorant out here now.
F you, or be like, get a job or something like this.
You just ran over my whole foot, bro. I put this on my man's, bro. My whole foot was underneath there, look. You got a whole print on my shoe.
Saying fuck you niggas, some white people, all that. Some black people be cracked and slick out their mouth.
Bro, your gas tank over.
The gas tank over.
The gas tank over.
You can't, like they say, you can't judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go off of what another person say. You feel me? You gotta go to that source to really figure out what's going on with the person.
See?
It was open.
I helped you out.
They always saying this and that, but you gotta listen what we had to say first.
From the west side.
I'm from Baltimore, from the west side.
Sandtown, Zone 17.
I grew up in McCullough Homes, projects.
At first, I ain't want to do it.
I ain't want to do this. I'm like, man.
Over time, like I seen them doing it. And I came out with them one day and he was like, get in the street. They gave me a spray.
When I first went out there, they got my $1, $20. I was happy. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stay out here.
So I was like, no. But I got in the street, I made $1. It was like,
paper, you see the money coming in?
Ever since then, I was like, dang, this easy money. And I ain't really working for nobody.
People do this for different reasons. You feel me? Everybody got a different struggle that they go through. You feel what I'm saying?
I get bullied for real. Like, people be packing me for it. Like, cause I had holes in my shoes. Or like, I've been wearing the same khakis for 2 weeks straight. You feel what I'm saying? Like, my people ain't never have the money or nothing like to go get the fancy stuff. So it'd be like, dang, I want that fancy stuff. So I'm gonna try to go get it myself.
I want to start getting my own money. I ain't want to depend on nobody, nothing like that. I ain't want to ask nobody for nothing. That's the type of person I am. I never wanted to ask nobody for nothing. I wanted to get that shit on my own.
Cause I ain't never had nothing. I come out here and now I just feel like I make it on my own. I ain't dependent on nobody.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna need y'all to share.
I asked my mother for some money for real, right? And she say she ain't got this amount of much, or we having problems. I come out here to make my money. You feel me? Make my money to help me eat, get my clothes if I ain't got it right then and there.
I got a family. You feel what I'm saying? Be trying to feed them, do as much as I can for my household. But my father, my biological father, he wasn't never there. I want to be different. Like, I got a daughter now, so it's like, I want to do the shit that my father ain't never do. Like, come take me out or something like that. Buy my stuff. Yeah, miss, thank you, all right? Appreciate it. Have a blessed one, all right?
Thank you, all right?
Thank you.
Have a blessed one.
Thank you.
Oh, watch out, bro.
Cause like, when you do this though, it's better than you selling drugs now. I'm not the type of person to sell drugs. That's not me.
They like saying us do that bad stuff for real. So it's like, now that we doing something different, you see how they don't like us.
What y'all want us to sell drugs and when we can't squeegee? Y'all want us to sell drugs, so we won't squeegee. So like, if we don't squeegee, that's the only thing we're gonna be doing, selling drugs, dope, weed, whatever.
I want to go back to school because I fell off.
It was the teachers and it was like, I wasn't even learning.
People like, yo, but you need your education. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to get my GED though. I'm going to get my GED.
It's like some people not even learning because they not even coming to school. That's why some people be leaving because they be like, it's not no point about going in there. There's not even nothing to talk about and the teachers don't really be there sometimes. I left there with 11th grade, dip. I feel as though I learned everything I needed to know, but there's never such thing as that. You feel what I'm saying? There's never such thing as that. I know now, you feel me? But if I knew that back then, I'd probably be in school. I probably wouldn't be right here right now. I haven't been really job hunting. It's been getting me by, I ain't even gonna lie to you. This is probably making way more money than a regular job.
I was really making more out here than somebody was at like working at Walmart for real, because I worked for Walmart for like 2 months for real.
I used to make $100 a day, every day. It's like $60, $80, $90 in my pocket, you feel what I'm saying?
There's a lot of stuff that we could be doing, bro.
A lot of people say they see me as an entrepreneur. I'd probably open up a business. Car dealership. My own landscaping business.
I'm gonna start with the clothing line for real. I'm gonna start with that, and then like, off of that, we can still be doing this, and I probably can get like see a nice van or something, put a water tank in there, start washing cars.
Like a car wash. It can just be nothing but squeegee kids there. So you won't be washing like that. You can just have squeegees right there.
Do construction too, like, where it come fix your stuff's got a crack in it. Where it come demolish the house that is ready to get demolished for real, or something like that, you feel what I'm saying? So like, just start slow.
I feel like they're assassinating them, cat. Like other people that do bad things, it bring bad attention like to us, and it make it like people don't like giving us money no more.
Days after city leaders weighed in on ways to prevent the kids from the stoplight squeegee, some of them who aren't even old enough to apply for regular jobs say the few bucks they make in a day don't come easy, and at times it's their only access to money.
They just be riding past, saying rude stuff to us. They be throwing water on us, like just negative stuff. And we don't even be the ones that be doing negative stuff. We just be trying to get money and stay out the way. A lot of people always be like, squeegee boys do all this and the squeegee boys do all that. But they don't never actually come and take the time to sit and talk to us. Yeah. Like to see what's really going on and why we really out here.
A lot of people think that we don't be doing too much, but we be out here, we make a couple dollars.
But squeegee boys are getting a new name. The city now calling them disconnected youth that squeegee.
I want to know why they call us disconnected. Like, what are we disconnected from? I don't know.
Two cohorts of 10 youth will be hired for a 13-week period and paid $15 an hour. They'll get 3 weeks of workforce training from the city, as well as a mentor. Since the 1980s, Baltimore has grappled with persistent youth panhandling, specifically those that participate in freelance windshield washing at high-traffic intersections. City officials say for the last few years, they've been working to develop a support model for disrupting environments that encourage squeegee activity. The latest effort, launching this employer coalition. The Canopy Hilton Hotel is the first of what they hope will be many partners to employ the teens. Squeegee boys like this young man, who goes by 5, said he'd take the opportunity if it came, but he's not optimistic.
A lot of people say they're going to do this and do that. I mean, there was a couple programs that really came out and helped us out, and like it was like jobs for like the summertime.
So when you hear from the squeegee kids themselves, right? You understand that a lot of these kids are coming from broken homes, and we already in a fucked up environment in Baltimore City. It's embedded in the fabric of the city. It's been engineered that way. Now, I know crime has been rampant in a lot of cities as of recently, but when you're dealing with Baltimore in particular, Baltimore been this way since I can remember, and I'm 36 years old. So that's what I mean by it's embedded in the fabric of the city. Baltimore economically was designed to be exactly what Baltimore is. You feel me? Its opportunity is low. So a lot of times you saying these kids should get jobs, but most of them are not old enough to get jobs. And when you hear from the boys themselves, look at what's going on with them. A lot of single parent households. For whatever reason. We know we know the factors that makes a single parent household. And that was all by design. So this situation, yo, it's bigger than just the squeegee kids and these encounters. Baltimore has a problem with opportunity. And when you're young and you growing up, and you in middle school and high school, or not even high school, let's say middle school, because these kids start early, even elementary school age. What do you do, man? What do you do when you're getting picked on and bullied and because your parents don't have the money? I actually know a squeegee kid, and I know his household. So when I seen him out there, I wasn't surprised. And a lot of times, yo, when I bump into the squeegee kids, I don't even ask them nobody. I just give them a couple of hours just because I know they need it, and they making good money. But this most recent encounter I had, the dude was so persistent. He didn't even want me to just give him the money. He wanted to work for it. I couldn't do nothing but respect it, yo. Go ahead, yo. Wipe the windows, yo. Do your thing. And it's about how you speak to people. And in Baltimore, it's a disconnect between the the black people in Baltimore City and the white people in the suburban part of Baltimore County. So when they come into the city, a lot of times they might not think they're being disrespectful or condescending. But to them, to us, you are. So you might say something in a smart manner that anywhere else, as far as the people you around, you get away with it with. But once you come into that city and once you run across these kids, you say the same thing and you wondering why you getting the reaction you getting. It's a right and wrong way of handling every situation. And I think Timothy handled it the wrong way. And like I said, if he'd have hit that boy with that bat and paralyzed him, how would we be treating it? Now, I'm pretty sure, because I know how the city is, that gun he had probably wasn't registered. You feel me? He probably didn't belong with it. But at the same time, what if he didn't have it? So it's a lot, yo. It's a lot to peel back when you're dealing with this type of shit, yo. Like, Baltimore City is fucked up. And it's hard. It's hard. Now, I'm not saying he deserved to die. But it's a right and the wrong way of going about every situation. And he went about it the wrong way. Even whoever shot him went about it the wrong way, because now you're going to have to face them consequences. And I'm going to tell you another thing about Baltimore City. In Baltimore in general, city and county. They treat white death different than they treat black death. Now, you got an $8,000 reward already for this man. Where you got black people dying every day in that city. And it just gets swept under the rug. How is that fair? How is that cool? I done seen them go door to door when white people get murdered in that city. And for the most part, us as black street dudes, we know this. And it attributes to the black on black shootings. Because it's like, internally, you know, if I do this to this person that's a different complexion than me, they're going to hunt for me 10 times harder. And most likely they're going to get them. But we got hundreds and thousands over the years of unsolved murders on black people. So this is a big problem in that city, man. And it's not about the squeegee boys. It's about economics. It's about opportunity. You giving these kids a summer job. But they struggling year round. And yo, and it's enough money, yo. If people stop stealing. Because we done had mayor after mayor after mayor steal from the city. You got to deal with the police department. Like, it's so much wrong, man. That creates this problem. And you trying to make the squeegee boys the culprits of all problems. It's too much other shit going on to be focusing on the squeegee boys. Because for the most part, they don't do too much. And it's the same people saying that you can't say the police department is bad from a few bad apples. Well, why you don't have that same compassion or that same thought process when you're dealing with the squeegee kids? Just because it's a few bad apples, that don't make all of them bad. Like, if that's the way you feel, at least be consistent. And people not being consistent. They're not being fair. They're not being understanding. They're not being none of that. And remember, we're dealing with children. Because I'm sure if they had a choice, they wouldn't be out there. If they can get jobs, they wouldn't be out there. And then this shooting happened downtown. Why are they downtown? They wasn't always at Conway and Light. They was pushed down there. So you chasing these kids from, because most of the times, like, because nobody live right there. So they, however they got down there, catch a hack or by a bus. A hack is basically like hitchhiking. For people that don't know, we call it hacks. So they got down there, however they got down there, because you forced them from their neighborhood where they was comfortable at. It's like if you're going to force these children off the streets, give them something to do. You heard what they said. They're not trying to sell drugs. It's almost like you're trying to force them. It's like they're not trying to sell drugs. They're growing up in fucked up living conditions. What are they supposed to do? Because the vast majority of them is not harming people. And I get the business owners. You know, it scaring people away from the city. That's what they say. So these same, if y'all think they scaring people away from the city, these same business owners need to lend a hand. Because obviously they're making it out to be a problem that it seems like it's unfixable. But it really is an easy fix. I said this before and I'm going to say it again, yo. The only thing that kills crime is opportunity. And I'm going to leave it like that, man. Keep it G blogging, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. And I want to know how y'all feel in the comments. And I'm out.
Hey, Baltimore, Baltimore, bitch, I'm reppin' Baltimore. Young street nigga, dope boy, I come from Baltimore. Baltimore, Baltimore, young niggas be shining on them dirt bikes, we be wildin', sellin' scramble out the houses. About to hit the block, you know it's trapping time. Gotta watch what I say, cause they might tap the line.